I forgot to turn my volume down. Let's do that before we get going. System. Oh no, it is lower. Okay, we're still good. Alright, perfect. So let's do this, and you'll have to holler at me if you can hear my phone or it's annoying or whatever. So, we're back with Scarlet Thorn. It looks like, unfortunately, we lost the second chunk of our leveling video, because for some reason it only wait a week to upload, and upload the weeks from before. But it's gone, so, unless it randomly shows back up, we lost that video. Which is, I am still having issues with, possibly the internet. I don't know. So hopefully this is good, because I look to be kind of disconnecting and reconnecting. No idea what this unlocks. Deliver it to the Lumens and Paradox. Okay. Hello. I just started, so you didn't miss anything. But that's the worst, when you are moving and you run out of tape or boxes or like newspaper to pack stuff that could break. I hate moving. I really do. I have to let this cutscene, if there is one, play, because it's funny as I'll get it. It says, "What are you waiting for? That's him, the slasher. Apprehend him, toss him in the jail, throw away the key. Or gut him and feed his lifeless body to the sharks for all I care. Just do something. Woe is me. Whatever did I do to deserve this cruel fate? For 6 moons I saved every last gill of my husband's hard-earned wage, foregoing new shoes, new purse, and sometimes even food for our children, all in anticipation of this day. What's so special about today, you ask? Why, this day marks the arrival of the world-renowned esthetician in Limsa. My endless patience and self-control were to be rewarded with a hair-raising transformation that would have every fashion-conscious Leminson oohing and eyeing in admiration. Instead, I find myself accosted by this lecherous lout. Speaking of which, weren't you going to do something about this? Go ahead, have your way with him. I doubt he has anything to say for himself." We used to be able to buy these things back where we used to live, they were the ends of the newspaper. So like the newspapers, like, I mean, massive, and they when they get to the end, when it was about this thick, they would like take it off the roll, and you could, for like $3 or $5, buy the end of the roll, and you would, like, we'd have giant drawing paper the size of newspapers on a roll and stuff, and we'd use that for all of our moving. I want to see if this is going to give me slightly better light. I doubt it. Maybe a little. It is hot. All the air conditioning is being awful. Sob, no matter what I say, all I receive are accusations and looks of horror. I swear this is not what it seems. Do you doubt me too, friend? And so I have to emote at him /doubt. Ooh, which is right there. Damn chocobos. We're gonna get there. Oh, the ignominy of it all. Of course you take her side. For shame, is there not one sympathetic ear in this entire nation? An artiste of my renown should be welcomed with open arms, and a 21 cannon salute. Instead I am branded a criminal, the tools of my trade, nay, the extensions of my very soul, ripped unceremoniously from my person like barnacles from the side of a frigate. Frigate? It's a boat. I will not last in my weakened state. No, even as we speak, the world around me grows dim. With my dying breaths I speak unto you 3 names, 3 kind souls who may yet put right what has gone so frightfully wrong. Forge Master Hananza of Naldik and Vimeles, Guildmaster Beaton of the Gradania's Carpenters Guild, and the Severian at the Alchemist Guild in Ulda. If there is one ounce of compassion in you, seek them out and tell them Jandalane sent you. When my soul is restored and my name rightfully cleared, all of Limsa, nay, the entire realm, will sing your praises. For I, Jandalain, am none other than the ace... the ace... So now I have to go to all the city-states and get his crap. How's it going, Strange? The story takes me to Gridania. That one takes me to the docks. That one takes me to all 3 cities. What? Alchemist is the armor, and blacksmith, which I doubt I have. Yeah, I have nothing. So, where's the blacksmith? No. He's over here. Ugh. That's terrible. My internet's being kind of a shit, too. It's been acting really, really weird lately, though, here. Also. And since isn't your stuff based here, maybe that's part of it. Because, like, I don't know, our internet's been just a disaster. Alright, so we come around back here. And Hinanza says, Jandalain sent you? Let me guess. The barmy fool's lost his tools. Pardon me, the appendages of his very soul. Again. And is thrashing and tossing like the end of days is nigh. The man brings it on himself. If he toned down the theatrics and went about his work like an earnest craftsman, I dare say he'd save himself these misunderstandings. No, I've not a whit of sympathy for the fool. You, however, have my pity, indeed, for having to play audience to his whinging. Any road, this should shut him up for a while. Tell him that if he loses these, I'll graft the next pair into his bloody hands. Yeah, and I don't know that it's like everywhere, or if it's company based, or if it's because like the weather has been terrible. I guess there's a hurricane. I don't pay any attention. Hurricanes come through here, and I'm like, whatever, it's a hurricane. Okay. But nonetheless, I don't really think that's an excuse because it's been acting really crappy for like 2 weeks. And I can't tell if it's that our equipment is crapping out. I restarted our extender, and that seems to have helped. But it didn't fix it. It's the internet itself. And it's like the signal suddenly got weak or is interrupted or something. At real short range, but you don't get very far from it and it stops working. And our phones, we got brand new phones, and the signal on them is acting real weird too. It's like there's a sudden, like, signal choking cloud hanging over the house. It's weird. Alright, we wanted to go down to the docks. So anyway, today I discovered that the game Patapon, if you recall, Dan Kenny was playing a Buena's Blob, and Empress said something to the effect of she missed Loco Roco. And I said that she would probably enjoy Patapon, which was also on the PSP. I discovered today that not Loco Roco, but Patapon was remastered and re-released today on the PS4. So I will be purchasing that game, and I will be streaming that game. I don't know about if it'll be like a regular stream day or not, but I may throw it in on an extra day or something, because it might be kind of short-lived. I don't know how entertaining that'll be for very long on a stream, but I will be streaming it. Yeah, so I'm super, super excited. And I do believe, if I read the article correctly, that Patapon was made by the Loco Roco guys. What did that unlock? Now I have access to the challenge log. Oh, okay. I thought that was for no reason. Yeah, 1 second, as a matter of fact. Here real quick. Here's the Patapon case for the original PSP version. You see real close. See the little dudes? Aren't they cute? Patapons are adorable. So I was really excited to learn of the re-release, and that's definitely happening. We're doing that. Now where do I have to go? I need to go to the... Yes, okay. So I'm excited, and I think the two of you especially will probably get a kick out of that game. Because it's a lot of fun. I even got a dynamic theme, which it's $2 on the store, but if you read the article, which was an interview Q&A thing with the developers, there was a little thing that said, put your email in here, and then it said, answer this question, and what was the name of one of the drums in Patapon? And if you answered correctly, you got the dynamic theme for free. So I'm super excited. Because I got it, now the little Patapons can skitter across my screen. So I don't know about this week, because this week's a little bit weird. Kenny has, like, tomorrow he's off because he has a doctor and dentist appointment. So, I mean, if we pick it up by tomorrow, I might do it, but he might be home. I don't really know. Things have been weird. I usually, Monday is my cleaning day. I go through and I dust out all the systems, the monitors, I vacuum the floor, and I clean the bedding, and all that good nonsense. And I was looking for a set of books that we wanted to reread. And I knew there was a pile of books in the closet. And I reached in to see what those books were, and my closet had a massive avalanche. And basically everything we owned ever fell out of it. And none of it got me, thankfully, but the amount of work that went into solving that disaster was a nightmare. And I didn't realize that we had acquired so much garbage in the closet. We threw out 2 bags worth of stuff. It was all just like weird garbage too. I don't know why we kept it. So needless to say, finally the closet's been cleaned out and everything's reachable and accessible and nothing's gonna fall out on me anymore. It was so bad. It's so bad because I had already gotten things set up, and like, I was notoriously messy growing up. Like, I was always a mess. And the last 6 months to a year, suddenly I, like, reversed on that, where I can't have a mess. It bothers me a lot. So I've kept the room really clean. I vacuum once a week. Keep the dust out. It helps me with my breathing stuff. So I'm all set up to vacuum. I pulled the computer chair out. The whole thing. And just everything fell out of the closet. I couldn't vacuum. I couldn't fix anything. And there's still stuff absolutely everywhere. Alchemist Guild should be... I'm gonna say Hustings. Oh, I was so mad. I was so mad yesterday. So if either of you guys tuned in to the Mega Man stream of Kenny's yesterday, and you heard a lot of noise in the background, that's what I was doing. I was stuck in this stupid closet trying to find the floor. Which in our closet, like, is set up so that it's on top of the, like, where the duct comes in for the outside air conditioner for the whole house. So it's raised off the ground almost 3 feet. So the floor of it is way up. And so it's like half a closet. And you have to, like, to do anything, you have to climb on this block. It's super dumb. So I was really angry. We found some of the books I was looking for, but not all of them. I was looking for the Sword of Truth series to reread. Oh, good lag. Beautiful. Series for Kenny to reread, which I found all of that. Nothing broke except my sanity. We're good. So you see, the man is something of a genius, and a genius is often misunderstood by modest minds. Trust me as I speak from extensive personal experience. Yes, great minds must band together in trying times, lest the realm be deprived of our talents. And so I command you, deliver this parcel to Jandalane with all speed. Turn back around. I would like to kick you in between the legs. You shit. Okay, now that that's taken care of, let's go to Gridania, where we have the story quest continue. It won't be long after this that we will have the next dungeon, but given that there's some nice lag going on, that should be fun. I'm pretty used to healing dungeons with like 1,000 latency, though. That's not uncommon. So, how are y'all today? Aside from mildly stressed. Mildly, because you're moving. Oh, and I have... If I sound like I'm choking, I'm sorry. Let me take a drink. I feel like I'm losing my voice already. It's been 17 minutes. Volcano might as well have erupted in this bedroom with the dust cloud that came out of that damn thing. It's a miracle nothing broke because I don't have the lampshade on the lamp. Because if I do and the fan is on, it unscrews the light bulb. So I have to keep the shade off, and it was in a basket and it fell. Still not quite sure how that worked out, but I'm glad it didn't break. Here at Baderon's suggestion, you say, the foul-mouthed rogue sends me word that an adventurer might be along for the job, and it turns out to be you. Well, this makes things a lot easier, doesn't it? With regard to the task in question, there's a fair bit to tell you. Let me know when you're ready to hear the details, and I shall brief you. Give me the ether. Ready for that briefing? Good. Now then, here's the long and the short of it. Beg pardons for interrupting me, own, but our need grows ever more pressing. Have none stepped forward? And good morrow to you too, Bowlord. Your need must be pressed indeed for you to honor us with a visit. The good news is your journey hasn't been wasted. Pleased to report that we have a volunteer at last, and one who comes highly recommended at that. Well, if it isn't our very own woman for all seasons. You certainly have an knack for appearing when you're most needed, Scarlet. My thanks for answering the call. Now, time is of the essence, so I shall proceed directly to the heart of the matter. We wish for you to nip a potential threat to Gridania in the bud. Gridania. Beneath the central shroud, there lies an underground burial site called the Tamtara Deep Croft. The place was once a Gelmoran settlement, but we Gridanians have long interred our dead there. Of late, however, shadowy figures have been skulking about the Deep Croft, and with ever-increasing regularity. Based on the accounts of various witnesses, we suspect that these individuals belong to the Lambs of Dalmud, a doomsday cult which sprung up prior to the calamity. These zealots have proven themselves dangerous in the past, and we leave them to their own devices at our peril. Ordinarily, we would have dispatched my best men to scour the Deep Croft with orders to flush the cultists out. Alas, the calamity decimated our ranks, and the limited forces at my disposal are constantly required to keep the Ixal at bay. Since we thwarted the attack on the Guardian Tree, the Birdmen have not allowed us a moment's respite. They have probed every ilm of our defenses in search of a weakness, compelling me to spread our forces far more thinly than I would like. The situation so being, we have no choice but to entrust the task of dealing with the Lambs of Dalmud to others. Can we rely on you to handle this matter, Scarlet? You have my gratitude. Once you've seen your preparations, pray make your way to the Deep Croft and identify yourself to the guard posted at the entrance. He will appraise you of the latest developments. That is all. Be careful out there, you hear? May the crystal guide you and keep you. Okay. So dungeon number 2 coming up as soon as we go to the Deep Croft itself. See what our latency is. Receiving almost 1,000, sending almost 500. Well, it could be worse, I guess. And let's go get our last piece for the Ace Petition. Sorry, dude, for running over. Okay, a message from Jedelaine, you say? So he's lost another one. Does the man not understand that wood doesn't simply grow on... Actually, it does. At least in a manner of speaking. But the fact remains that resources are in short supply. For all his flowery words, if his tools were truly an extension of his very being, one would think he'd find a way to hold on to them for more than a fortnight or two. Jedelane's skills are not to be doubted, but his temperament leaves much to be desired. Still, it is not my place to judge. Take this to him and let us both hope that he will right his ways. This dude, this guild master, look at him. He is awesome. I love him. He's great. Okay. Gotta go. Try not to run over people because he's rude. Alright, so that's all the... what's-its. We can turn that back in the next time we go to Limsa. There always this weird eaten pineapple on here, or is there a holiday going on that I didn't realize? What does recommendations say? Doesn't really look like anything's going on. How about here? Does it say here? Because it'll tell you when you log in. Nope. I'm not sure when the next event is. We are 2 dungeons and a trial away from our chocobo, I think. If we get moving, we might make it. But probably gonna be just short today. We'll see. We're gonna try. Oops. Wrong thing. So I was thinking, once we get to... I don't know what level. I'll probably put a poll up or something. But once we get to a certain level on White Mage, maybe 30, maybe 50, something, we will maybe go and swap and pick up Marauder, which is a tank class, becomes Warrior. So we can watch a little bit of tanking stuff, which once you go pick up another job, you don't have to go through like the story and like whatever you've unlocked is already unlocked. And once you hit level 50 on a different job, you get a bonus to leveling other jobs. Hello, Simpy. How are you today? Tonight, I should say. I believe it's midnight there. 12. It's either 11:30 or 12:30. And then once we've done that, we'll maybe we'll pick up some kind of DPS class and check that out for fun. The level cap in the game is now 70, but like 50 to 60 takes a good amount of time, especially if you watch all the cutscenes, which, as far as I know, you guys want to see the cutscenes and the story. So, if that's the case, then definitely have to... That's going to take a while, and it takes just as long to get from 60 to 70. Oh, yeah, that's definitely frustrating. Skeleton. What's frustrating to me is the fact that I'm going to have to go back in there and try to do everything 30 levels under. We might just bash our face against a wall and jump into New Game Plus 50 levels under, because why not? Who doesn't want to see that train wreck, right? Okay, so. Scarlet Thorn, I take it? Thanks for helping us out, friend. No doubt the Bowlord has already informed you, but your task is to enter the Deep Croft and purge it of the Lambs of Delmood. In case you're unfamiliar with them, the cult emerged shortly before the Calamity and put an end to the 6th Astral Era. The cultists took the lesser moon, Dalmud, for their god, believing that it would deliver them from the devastation. And so they were rather disappointed when Dalmud exploded into 1,000 flaming pieces. God turned to ash. One would think that the cultists might feel moved to question their faith. On the contrary, it served only to stoke the flames of their fascination. The Lambs of Dalmud are convinced that the heretics, that is to say, everyone but them, interfered with the coming of their Lord and Savior, and that it is now their sacred duty to avenge them. Whatever it is that they're doing in the Deepcroft, you may be sure that it is no good will come of it. The sacred Gridania and Eorzea at large put an end to their madness. Okay, so here we are at Tamtara. We are still, I'm sure, laggy. Oh god, that's real laggy. Real laggy. And there's very little I can do about it. So, I guess we're just gonna have to queue up and make people suffer. Oops. Here we go. Ugh. I hate farms that you go for hours to get in, and then another time when you're not aiming for it, it's the first drop for no reason. So we're gonna watch the intro here to Tamtara just because we've never done it. And people can't go on without you because they're locked in a thingy. Like, they actually put a circle that entraps the party when you have a cutscene at the beginning like this, so that they can't run ahead. But if everybody skips it, you can all move. Hello, Hoax. How are you today? Oh, you're gonna be like that, are you? Okay. Yeah, I hear that. We're gonna top that off. There's hair in my face. What kind of tank do I have? A Dark Knight? Oh, that explains why they're taking very little damage. Good old Dark Knight. They do, and in certain instances, it gets everybody killed. It's a great time. One of the newest dungeons recently, like level 68 or something, I had a tank, it was a warrior, and they went in and pulled 3 trash packs, and I could tell with the first trash pack that they were getting annihilated, and I was like, please no. And they pulled it all, and since it was at the door, everything just kept running back to the door and murdering us repeatedly, and they had to learn to slow down, and so they slowed down, and after they repeated the mistake 3 more times in the dungeon, and at one point they started to run ahead, and I was in there with Damn You Kenny, and we had already like made up our minds we weren't running ahead with that idiot anymore, because if he was going to get himself killed, he was going to do it on his own terms. The red mage had given up on trying, or bard, whatever it was that we had for DPS, had given up on them also, and decided that they weren't going to run ahead either, and then the guy got himself annihilated. It was done. I'm all for big pulls if you know how to handle them. If your gear is just too weak, there's no shame in that. You have to do the dungeons to get gear, and that's fine. And I would never ever give somebody a hard time for that, but you do need to acknowledge when you just don't have the gear. It happens. It's okay. And generally, people are really nice in this game, so if you are undergeared, they're gonna be like, oh, it's okay, we'll just slow down a little, no problem. Yeah, the regen thing is, it's a wonderful spell, but it lasts about 30 seconds, and if you drop it on the tank and all the trash dies and they move to the next trash pack, lo and behold, you have all the threats. What a good time. The only thing about this dungeon is I don't think we're going to have a problem, but I have to be careful with lag, because I can think that they're pretty good on health and they're not. The lag tolerance in this game isn't too awful though. I can remember a time when I struggled super hard with low-level stuff. It's kind of funny now to think about. So here's the first boss of Tamtara, which is it's kind of essentially like trash, and then like a boss comes out, but because you had this trash wave first, it's kind of a weakish thing. But the idea is this ball up here, you gotta, these orbs back there, you have to release all 4 of them to get to the last boss. But like 3 of the bosses are literally just doing this over and over again. And just so you're aware, if you play DPS, especially if you're like a black mage or thaumaturge, this place is the worst for pulling thread off of the poor tanks. Hello, damn you, Kenny. How are you today? Security. Is it a... What's me clicking? A lot of the times the Mihata name is attached to Aura, but it isn't always. I mean, you can name stuff whatever you want, but there are naming conventions, and a lot of times people follow them here. Alright, so that's 1 orb down. Level 15 is probably going to be the same as what I got on. Yep, exactly. So we'll green on it. Who said that? One of the DPS. By the by, there's actually an option in your menu when you queue up. You can opt to join a group already in progress. So like this person's going to have to drop because something came up. And since they're going to have to drop, we will obviously have to refill. Though it kind of looks like maybe they're just going to wait here and not drop the party. And we'll probably have to vote kick. I don't really get why people... Oh, no, she's not. Never mind. But anyways, you can select to do that, and I don't think it gives you necessarily any like extra bonuses, but I don't think there's a penalty either. It just allows you to fill a party. But by default, you will always get a fresh dungeon in this game. Ooh, that's cool. See, like this pull was a big pull. Actually pulled 2 trash. Okay. It's cool for like people who don't care. They can select the option and maybe they get quicker groups or something. You know, but the fresh group thing is nice. You don't wait all that time to get in on the last boss if you don't want to. Yes. There is a punishment system, like Simpy says. Like, you can't just willy-nilly leave on people. But they are at least understanding that, like, the first time you have to drop, hey, look, you might have had something come up, like an emergency or... who knows. Well, in most cases, you're not going to be able to queue up within a certain amount of time anyway. I mean, it's not... Getting a not fresh dungeon isn't so irritating as a healer or a tank, simply because the queues are faster. No. And because of that, it's kind of like, okay, that's mildly irritating if there's something specific you were going after, but at the same time, it's not that big a deal. Let's buff because we got a new person. And it didn't go on with the new person. How about that time? Why can't I buff that person? Try that one more time. Okay, I was gonna say, if it doesn't buff that time, they're unbuffable. That's all there is to it. And I don't know why. Sometimes I try to do this nifty thing where I change my class things right as I zone into a dungeon, and then it breaks it. Don't be like me, kids. I don't believe it is, but if my music is too loud, let me know and I will adjust it further. But I have it turned down to like 25%. Okay, good. Thank you. Yarzons, the enemy to everybody ever, because they smash your face off. They actually hurt quite a bit. Dark Knights are pretty resilient, though. I have to say warriors are probably the squishiest, but they do the most damage. So... or at least that's how it was. I don't know what level 70 balance is like. I think we were not able to pick up another class quest before, but this dungeon might level us up. And if it does, we will have a class quest waiting. Do I have a Suna yet? I can pick a Suna. Cool. Fate farming indeed. I feel like fate farming in older zones is more effective than in newer ones, but it depends on the fate, what's going on. There's a lot of really interesting new fates in this game. Have you gone back, Simpy, to Final Fantasy at all, or are you still stopped from Heaven's Swords? By the way, if you've played, no spoilers, please. Oh no, that guy's gonna shoot me or something. Get all that. Yeah, I have not done like any of that. It's not finished. But it's been, like I said, it's been a weird couple days. Yarzon. The little Lalafell machine is still adorable. We all know I have a Lalafell weakness though. They're the cutest. Thinking last night about like my favorite races in the game, and Lalafell is obviously my favorite. But with regard to female, it goes like Lalafell are my favorite, and then Mikote and Aura tie, kinda. And then it's Rogadin, and then Elizin and Human are pretty evenly on the bottom. And then I'm like, well, what about for males? And it's like, I like all the races for males. Like all of them. I don't necessarily like all the variants on all of them. as much, but I love all the male races. They're just great. Yeah. Yes, I am very close to the end of the story. I'm, like, ridiculously close. But it has been... We went out Saturday and did some stuff, and we made dinner and all kinds of things, and we were going to go to the beach on Sunday, and then we got rained out, so we did some other stuff, and then clean yesterday, and that fiasco happened. And then today's streaming day, so maybe I'll finish it tonight. But, we'll see. And I'm sorry to hear that, Simpy. I have, like, a couple friends that... Well, I have a decent amount of friends that play, but everybody plays fairly sporadically. There's only 2 friends that I have, Damn Kenny and, Turbo Deathflow when he stops by, if you've ever seen him. The 3 of us play together. Fairly frequently. We got a weapon for our summoner. Class. Yes. But they're, like, Wild is on the free month trial thing, and Drew might also be, but Drew might actually stay playing depending on what's going on, and I'm not sure if Wild will or not. And then, Empress's brother hangs out with us sometimes. And he is just the sweetest thing. And there's another friend of Damn You Kenny's who occasionally plays. It's one of the reasons we need to win you a PS4, Strange. So you can come hang out with us, because I think you would be super into this game. Okay, so as soon as this is dead, we'll be at the last boss. I play it on PS4. My controller. And it's amazing. If I could play every MMO on my PS4, I would. No question. Okay, so here we go with cutscene. I'm gonna get this treasure. This, however, since they can't lock everybody back in, they can start without you. But you get a warning that says that it'll be closed off in 15 seconds, even if you're in the cutscene, so. Who summons me from the void to reside within its crude vessel? He's so cool looking. This is such a cool, like, looking boss. Okay. Isn't he awesome? Okay, so the mechanics of this boss are when these imps come out, he goes immune. So they have to be killed, like, the second they come out. And every time that he summons, usually there's another one, so, like, next time there'll be 2. There are also other ads during the fight if you're a tank that you need to watch out for. Like, there's the skeletons, and there's a mite. Okay, this one, there's only one imp. Okay, that isn't off. Oh, I'm lagged out. Okay. Top off the tank. Okay, so here's where we're gonna get a bunch of extra imps. And fun story, at level 50 there are in fact hard mode dungeons. But they are not the same as regular dungeons. Like the map is different, the bosses are different, everything changed. And I don't think there's a hard mode for every single dungeon, but a lot of them. And I actually haven't done many of them. Alright. Let's get that, because it's just a celebration once he falls over. I guess we'll do that since they're the only one left in here. And I won the stuff automatically because they all left. Get any upgrades? Nope. Okay, so now we're done with that. I got a player combination. Hooray! So that's the Tamtara Deepcroft. Now I have to go back to the town, which do I have? This is set to New Gridania. Perfect. I want to take a drink out of this, but it's so wet. Because it's like a zillion degrees in here. For the first time ever today, my air conditioner decided it was full of water. And it woke me up really early. And so the air conditioner hasn't really been on all afternoon. And the air conditioner in the house isn't hardly keeping it cool for some reason. We can't quite figure out why. So I think it was like 83 in the rest of the house, and it was already like 2 degrees warmer in here when I started. It's a good time. Alright. Welcome back, Scarlet. I'm reliably informed that your foray into the Deepcroft was a success. Nor did I expect anything less. You've made such a habit of succeeding that it's difficult not to take your talents for granted. Rest assured, however, Mother is impressed, even if she isn't surprised. Beaulord Lewin asked me to pass on his thanks. I must say, it's something of a relief to be able to call upon such a capable adventurer. Sadly, death has become an ever more uncommon occurrence within our fraternity of late. Times being what they are, the guild is constantly inundated with petitions, and we are hard-pressed to find enough hands to deal with them all. While this means no shortage of work for able souls such as yourself, it also provides ample opportunity for the inexperienced to overreach themselves, with predictable consequences. Ah, as if to illustrate the point. Aver's gone, and it's all your fault. If I hadn't taken you an age to heal him, he would still be alive. But I tried. He bolted out of range before I could finish the spell. He shouldn't have been so hard-pressed in the first place. We should have done more to lighten his burden. Ah, the hell's with this pathetic excuse for a party. I'm leaving, and it'd be too soon if I never see your faces again. Goodbye and good riddance. I'm leaving as well. I doubt this comes as any surprise, but I never liked you. I only suffered you for your healing, but you couldn't even do that one thing right. Cruel though this may sound, you brought this upon yourself. Oh, and by way of some parting advice, get rid of Aver's head, bury it, cremate it, do whatever the hells you'd like with it, but for God's sake, stop carrying it around. It's just... get rid of it, alright? Wait, don't leave me alone, please. I'm so sorry, Aver. Please forgive me. Scenes like this have become all too common. That makes 12 times in half as many days. Now you've seen why I'm grateful for adventurers of your experience. I can send women like you on a mission without worrying that you might not return. Well, not so much at any rate. Speaking of missions, I would entrust you with another. About a bell ago, I received a message from the counterpart in Ul'dah. She seeks the services of a reliable adventurer, and you are nothing if not reliable. I think you might be interested in this task. Say the word, and I will be glad to share the details with you. So now she's going to send me off to talk to Momodi. I think this is slightly better. Or not. It's a level higher, but it's not better. So we'll pick up the tank piece instead for later. Alright. Stop being lagged out so I can pick up the next quest. Thank you very much. So you're not averse to taking a little trip? Wonderful. As I mentioned earlier, the request comes from the Adventurers Guild in Ul'dah. Once you arrive, seek out Momodi, the proprietress of the Quicksand. Think of her as the Sultan's version of myself. Chances are she'll send you into the midst of danger, but I have every confidence that you'll pull through unscathed. Now, off you go, Scarlet, and good luck. Alright, so back to the airship we go. There are a couple of stories that actually revolve around parties like the one you just saw. There's also an option in the menu to skip cutscenes you had seen before, which will obviously skip that one automatically. Oh, Ul'dah. You're my favorite. I want to go to Ruby Road Exchange. First and foremost, I've never gotten the Aetherite, the main Aetherite here. So let's go pick that up before we move on. You will see a lot of male Makote Seekers of the Sun with the last name Tia, because it's a naming convention. For them. I'm running past it. Speaking of the Sword of Truth series, pretty sure that that's what that name was on that person just now. Garnet, Kalan, maybe not. Yes, the music in this place is gorgeous. I'm gonna pick this quest up. This is to open a special place that I want to show you guys, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it today. Because the goal for today is to see how far we can get. We're aiming for that chocobo. My main character is a level 70, finally, white mage. And she's a 54 scholar, which by proxy makes her a 54 summoner. And then she's 32 astrologian, and that's it. And then I have a separate character that's a level 50 dragoon, red mage, and a level 43 fisher. And a bunch of the professions are like level 20-ish. Welcome to the Quicksand, friend. I'm a tad busy right now, if you wouldn't mind showing yourself to... judging by your detrimental expression, I take it you ain't here for ale. Are you called Scarlet Thorn by chance? Leon sent word that you'd be reporting for duty. She also made a point of calling you the adventurer of the moment. There ain't no small praise coming from her. But you didn't come all the way here to listen to me prattle. Doubtless you're eager to get started. So let's talk business, shall we? I don't quite... Ah, that's slightly better. So I will take it. Momodi is waiting to brief you on your task. The petitioner ought to be arriving any moment now. Gods almighty, another second under the sun and I would have been set afire. A tankard of ale if you'd be so kind. Papa Shan, I love him so much. Excellent timing, Papa Shan. It just so happens the adventurer who will be handling your petition is here. So, this winsome lass is the much-lauded adventurer, is she? Marvelous, marvelous. Pleasure to make your acquaintance, milady. I am Papa Shan, formerly of the Sultan Sworn. I thank you for agreeing to lend us your aid. Mayhap you'd like to appraise Scarlet of her mission? Apprise, obviously. Yes, of course. The petition in question was submitted by an acquaintance of mine at a Magina and Sons mineral concern. It relates to an unfortunate development at Copperbell Mines. To be plain, giants have seized control of the place. The giants are the clan known as the Hecatoncheires. Hecatoncheires. Okay. Fearsome creatures who were sealed away within the deepest depths of the mine during the bygone Thorn dynasty. Alas, it seems they have managed to break through the layer of rock which served to imprison them, and now prowl the tunnels with the miners ply their trade. The creatures are justifiably angry about their treatment at the hands of our ancestors, and their presence has forced the suspension of all mining activities on the site. It's no wonder they're angry. Didn't the Thorn dynasty come and end over 300 years ago? You know your history well, my lady. The people of that age used the Hecatoncheires to work their mines, by way of enchanted helms. They were able to bind the ferocious creatures to their will, but as is oft the way of such tales, these enchantments eventually failed, and the slaves rose up against their masters. In a desperate bid to contain the unbridled fury of the Hecatoncheires, our ancestors induced the collapse of the mine's lowermost levels. So it was that the great giant revolt was ended, buried beneath 100,000 tons of rock. Well now, that's got me thinking. I seem to recall there being an article about Copperbell and the Mithril Eye a fortnight or so ago. It said the mines were being reopened so as to meet the rising demand for building materials. Like as not, our boys dug a bit too deep and freed the giants. Gods, to think the poor creatures are still alive and kicking after 3 centuries. It's a long time to nurse a grudge. They must be seething. Indeed, and that makes them a danger to us all. There will be no mining at Copperbell so long as they remain. For the sake of both peace and prosperity, they must be subdued. This is the task with which we would have you undertake. I'll not deny that the mission will be rife with danger, but our need is great, and so I beg you, put an end to this sorry business. I do know Palace of the Dead. We're actually quite a fan of Palace. Gods bless you. I feared that they might have reservations, but I assure you it is all for the best. In case you didn't know, Copperbell mines are in western Thanalan. Do take care, you hear? And one last thing before you depart. An employee of Magina and Sons is presently at the quicksand. The fellow's name is Painted Mesa, and he knows Copperbell mines well. It may behoove you to seek his counsel. But yes, it's a frequent thing that Damn You Kenny and I run. Painted Mesa. Looking for Painted Mesa? You found him. So you're the adventurers who volunteered to deal with the mess down in Copperbell, are you? You've got guts, miss. I just hope you got the skills to go with him, because things ain't pretty down there. The Hecatoncheires you've left the place in a right state, and nary a week after mining resumed. I don't know if you know this, but Copperbell was old when the second Ul dynasty was still young, and it was abandoned centuries ago. If it hadn't been for the shortage of materials needed for rebuilding, the concern would never have been thought to reopen it. We knew full well about the giants beforehand, but the project went ahead anyway. I mean, nothing could have possibly survived being buried under a mountain's worth of rock for 3 centuries, right? Wrong. Our miners dug up more than they bargained for. One swing of the pickaxe too many, and they found themselves in the company of giants. Unless we can subdue them, the nation's glorious recovery will grind to a halt for want of aught to build with. Giants fancy some sunlight and fresh air. One of them will be able to show you the way in. The hope of the nation's resting on you, friend. Best of luck. Yeah, it's great for leveling alts, especially in a party. And especially once you've done, like, the main story. Because, you know, you can only do that through once, and you do need to do it to progress. Like, you have to beat all of the main story before you can move on to the expansions. So, it's definitely something to do. But then once you get around to leveling an alt, it kind of becomes a little bit tedious and frustrating because there's only so many side quests, and yes, there's fate grinding and things, but it's kind of a breath of fresh air to go into Palace of the Dead because it is, you can go in by yourself if you want, or you can go in with a party, and it's basically a never-ending dungeon. It's a lot of fun. Oh, level up. We hit level 20 by discovering Western Thanalan. There you go. So, that'll mean that we can go do the next quest shortly. But we do want to get a move on this first. I don't remember what my level 20 skill or anything is. It's been a while. Okay, that over there will be to unlock the residential district and or leaves, but I think residential district. Stop opening that. Oh my god. Oh, Lord. Okay, so we're almost there, and then we can queue up for Copperville. And we're an hour in. Let's see. Copperville goes quick, which is usually not too bad. We're making good progress for the day. Let's put it that way. But it is worth noting, Strange, that if you don't like the way that this game works, like with a controller, which it does take some getting used to, but once you do, it's really nice, you can just hook up a mouse and keyboard. There's been an incident inside Copperbell Mines. We are here to ensure that the effects are contained, but for your own safety, I suggest you stay well away from here. What? You're the adventurer who has volunteered to quell the hit whatever? I didn't think that Papashan would be able to find someone so quickly, if at all. The giants are content to wreak havoc inside the mines for now, but it's only a matter of time before they think to come outside. The sooner you see them, the better. Make ready as best you can and enter at will. Yeah, I think the highest I've gone is maybe like 40 or something, but I don't usually do it with groups. Yes, Copperbell is, I believe, the last one that you did. Yes, you got a lot of options here. And there's no add-ons, but you don't need it because you can adjust, like, everything on the UI and stuff. It's really cool. Alright. It didn't instantly go off. What is that nonsense? Yeah, that'll happen sometimes. I mean, it takes, you know, some degree of, I guess, patience to sit and do it. And unfortunately, I feel like WoW really killed a lot of our patience with MMOs, like every one of us. As sad as that is. Man, what is the deal here? There we go. Which I'm thankful a lot of the things that bothered me and killed games for me within WoW don't really happen in this game. Like, the community is kinder. And little quality of life things, like I said, like you always get a fresh dungeon unless you choose. Or whatever. Because I think that makes a big difference. Kobolins are creepy. But they're chittering. But they're amazing. I love their chittering. Alright. Menacing Shadow seems to be lagging a bit. Yeah, pretty much. Oh, party popper. So we got a paladin this time, which they're the other really hardy HP tank. And what's really funny to me is that you're saying, wow, the bosses have mechanics. And these early bosses have next to nothing compared to a lot of the higher level ones. The crap gets really intense later. And a lot of the people complain that early on the game is slow. Not like playing the classes, it's slow. But that's partially because they trickle it. I mean, in World of Warcraft, you start out with just a couple of abilities too. It's not really that different from that. But it's because they're trying to give you ample time to learn everything so that you can cope with the harder mechanics later. Because there's a lot more. See, this guy's gonna pull more. I'm still DPSing, friends, so you might as well pick up whatever you want. That's friggin' evaded. Well, heck, even like, well, and there's above extreme, there's savage. There are savage raids. I mean, they're not quite called raids. But like the first trial you do in Stormblood, even that one I found to be very intense. And I was like, oh my god, there's so much going on. Oh, okay. Yeah, because it's like there's normal, but most trials, once you get into higher levels, there isn't a normal version. It's just hard, extreme, savage. Trials are extreme, raids are savage. Okay. Okay, so because Alexander was savage and he was a raid. Because I didn't get to do a lot of that stuff. Obviously. The ogre's hurt, by the way, in case you didn't know. And he pulled a lot of other stuff, but you notice it's not hurting him nearly as much as that stupid ogre did. Our little lancer's taking some hits. Yes, I'm gonna have to agree. And the hard mode of the first one in Stormblood wasn't exactly what I would consider a cakewalk. And that's, I mean, the queued up version. It was rough. I was like, oh my lord, why? Thankfully, the first time I did it, which I think was the only time I did it, the other healer was a white mage also. But then the trial I did after that, I was with a scholar and they had a lot of nerfs in the the expansion, which they've rectified some of that. Because they were really not in a very good place there for a little bit. The poor guy just could not keep up. Hello, Lupus. Shadow rabbits, kinda. Gear condition. Oh, my gear's breaking. They're spriggans. They're kinda like rabbits. And they like rocks. They sure can. Our old buddy Titan. So the idea of this dungeon is, since you're going through the mines and everything, you have to pick up this fire sand here, and you have to pick up so many pieces before you can place the powder down and use the blasting device. So then she'll use that thing. There we go. This first boss is just kind of a mess of ads for a little while. Yeah, I know. He's kind of a dirty word at this point, isn't he? Oh. Got it, bud. Built-in markers. Yeah, he really can. He's terrible. Pretty soon bombs will come in. Someday. Okay. I see his nameplate, but I don't see him yet. There it is. And just like bombs in any other Final Fantasy, you can actually get one shot blown up. Something worth it. The bosses in here are actually really cool, now that I think about it. This one's a little boring. It is good. I agree. And then the boss. Not that I'm gonna get much in the way of hits off, but I'll use it anyway. There we go. The Screaming Dark is no longer locked. Right. This trash right here, if everybody runs to the elevator, will reset. And that's the end of it. You absolutely don't have to. Because, I mean, you're here to level usually, so. As long as everybody stays together, you can actually skip that. It's not really that bad in this game because, like I say, people are in here to level. So you get people who are more willing. Yeah, that trash also evades. I learned that the first time I ever came in here as a scholar, I had a little teeny tiny Lalafell Dark Knight, and he was like, can I pull more? And I was like, yeah, I suppose, even though I didn't really know what I was doing, but I was like, I think we could probably manage this. He tried to pull all this trash and stuff kept evading, and he was like getting more irritated with the fact that he couldn't pull that much. That's awesome. My first character was a female. Is a female Makote. I still have her. If you were here for my fishing stream, you'd die, Alani. She's my Dragoon, that's level 50. Lag. There's just... what's in here? Anything? I think there's just extra treasure in here. I mean, he dropped sand, but I think there's a treasure over there. Are there any enemies in here? What is this? Oh, I have a level 1 on. Let's go ahead and need that. So this fight is, it's kind of a weird team effort, but it's largely on the tank. So what's going to happen is the tank is going to hold this. He's almost entirely immune to damage, the Icarus Ire. And this blasting cap comes out, and the tank will, like, DPS it on his own. I guess. Or it blows up on its own, maybe. Yeah, there it goes. It just self-destructs. And it will one-shot you, so you have to get out. Oh, that guy didn't actually get one-shot. So every time you use it, it blows up the slime and splits it into 2. So the idea is, you keep doing that until they're all really teeny tiny. And then over here on this platform, you're gonna get little Spriggans that you have to kill because they will go out and they will kill the bomb and screw up the fight. And it's really annoying. So I just stand back there and do that. Red Mage pretty much took care of that though. So this fight is really cool. Maybe a little bit tedious, but it's one of my favorite fights in the game probably because it's really interesting. So now it's split into 4. And this guy got blown up again. He will actually... he's gonna die if he gets in there one more time. And I'm gonna giggle. Because it's a really big obvious... hey, don't stand in me. Okie dokie. Let's see if he dies. Oh yeah, he's going down. Oh, it didn't one-shot him. I'm surprised. But now that they're all super tiny, you can attack them and kill them. And that's that boss. Fun. Yeah. It should not be that difficult. And so now, we pick up the sand. And then we hit this. There we go. And it used to be that people jump down, like, would go around, and this guy looks like he's old school because he's going to do it, right? Yep. He goes around and he's going to jump down. But a lot of people are taking the path to the left, which is the way to go. Me too, that would be amazing. guys have a conal. I don't remember which one of them it does. I think it's the snail-looking guy. One of them has a frontal cone. And if you're in the slow corridor, you can get smacked with it. It won't kill you, though. Yeah, it's them. Now, I see that you've gotten a debuff, but I didn't equip it sooner, so you're just gonna have to deal with it. So, there's not much to this dungeon. There's one boss left. And it's really kind of the boring boss. And see, yeah, he's saying burn boss, because technically there's a mechanic here, and I don't think I've ever once seen a group do the mechanic. So I'm gonna skip this because they're in a hurry, but a big old ogre pops through that wall. Never again. Okay, so pick this guy up and you'll drag him to the wall over that direction, because where he broke out from. Because he'll just run over there eventually. Oh sure, that guy's gonna watch it, so I could have watched it. Ay, ay, ay. Oh well, it really wasn't that interesting. He's not in the... okay. I agree. Three, two, one, and there goes Claire's. So he runs over to that wall eventually, so if you want to drag him straight to the wall as a tank, you can. Then you want to be kind of over here. He does a frontal attack. And then ads will come out, but that's why they specify burn boss. Yeah, so here goes Cone. There's the ad running off being... because they go and like break the wall, which I guess summons more or something. I don't know. Like I said, nobody ever does it right. I'm trying to see what he's doing, but okay. There's another one. And that dude stood in it. Alright. So there goes the boss. He did. And we are level 21. I'm gonna give player accommodation to this adorable. I'm not biased, I swear. Item comparison, level 15, everything's exactly the same. So we'll agree on it. Oh, and I can't even agree on it. Alright, thank you very much. Now we will exit. Good times, good times. So where does this want me to turn it back at Limsa? think I can chocobo there. So this is essentially flight pass. I want to say I have the music off. I do. Although this music's really good too. There. Stupid baby music. That would be amazing. I know I think I showed you the other day they're gonna localize 11. I knew Strange would like that. Look at his little hat. Cutest. I love his feet. His weird little bird feet. Or not little, I guess. Alright. Actual chocobos. We only have been saying in World of Warcraft forever every time we see hawkstrings. We're like, they're chocobos! Because we wanted them that bad. So... report to Painted Mesa. I'm gonna just teleport down there because I'm lazy. I mean, it's not that far, but... I didn't pick up the thing, so never mind. 'Cause I'm an idiot. Actually, get it this time? Congratulations, Simpy. Glad your farming finally paid off for you. Alright. Let's go talk to Painted Mesa. I believe this leads to a cutscene. Well, it actually leads to an instanced thingy. Ah, the Conqueror of Copperbell returns. Thanks to you, our mine operations can resume, and Ul'dah will have the materials she needs to rebuild. The entire nation's in your debt, friend. I'll share the good tidings with Papa Shan next time I see him. As for you, you'll want to report to Momodi. It'll do the woman well to see you alive in one piece. I feel like that wasn't overly instanced. I know I have to fight something, because I had to instance. Yeah, there we go. I knew there was something. Shut your mouth, you thieving little swine. You stole from me. Don't even think to deny it. Please, sir, I didn't steal nothing. I bought this. I paid for it with my own coin. What rot. You refugees are all the same. Couldn't afford a maggoty mole meat, much less a choice cut of dodo. I'm going to say it one more time. Give back what you stole, or I'll make you wish you'd never set foot in this town. By rights, I should turn you over to the Brass Blades, you know, help keep the streets safe for law-abiding citizens. But I'm a reasonable man. If you agree to serve me in whatever capacity I require, the authorities needn't hear of your crime. I'm glad you find that so funny. Not gonna find it funny in a minute. But I ain't done nothing wrong. 12 is me witness. Please, adventurer, help me, I beg of you. I swear on my mother's grave I didn't steal nothing. I bought this with the coin I'd saved. I only wanted to treat my children to a decent meal. He does kind of look like a One Piece character, I'm gonna give you that. And who the hells are you when you're at home? This dog's master? Oh boy, you've made a mistake. I've had enough of this mummer's farce. You lot, teach them a lesson. Yeah, probably. But since the day-night cycle is half an hour in this game, I mean, it's like half an hour of night, half an hour of day, I think. You know what damage is? Oh, I'm gonna kill them all. One down. Yeah, it is cool when day and night change in the middle of what you're doing. Bugger indeed. Well, you better hope I have to cast a healing spell before the end of this. This is gonna look real bad. That was sad. I ain't getting paid enough for this. Bye. Hey, where the hell do you think you're going? Thank you, kind adventurer. Thank you thrice over. Uh-oh. I'd swear there are more refugees than when I last looked. And you wouldn't be mistaken. But it's been 5 years since the calamity. Why are they only coming here now? It's simple, really. While a number of hamlets survived the immediate aftermath of the calamity, many were no longer able to support their communities. Residents found their lands had either been rendered barren or cut off from trade routes. And problems like those aren't easily solved. Though they were tried to make the best of it, it was only a matter of time before they were forced to abandon their homes and seek a new life in the city. I see. But the calamity affected the whole realm, didn't it? Is the same thing happening to the other cities? If the talk is true, yes. Though perhaps our situation is more pronounced. Ul'dah has a reputation for being prosperous, so it's natural that the refugees would try their luck here first. My heart goes out to them, it truly does, but I would be lying if I said that it wasn't apprehensive. I hope their presence doesn't foment lawlessness in the city. Well, if things do take a turn for the worse, we could always have the immortal flames. I dare say the brass blades would welcome their help. The heroes who fought the Garlean Empire patrolling the streets for riffraff? It may well come to that. Impoverished and desperate as they are, you may be sure that some of the refugees will turn to crime. You know what this place is like. If you've no coin, you've no hope. What will become of our city? Not all refugees are bad, mind you. Some are able to find employment and lead honest lives. Dodo tenderloins. Get your dodo tenderloins. Guaranteed cheapest in Thanalan. Thank you for your custom, madam. Please come again. Looking around, you'd think that Ul'dah was well on its way to recovery. But peer through the veil of prosperity and you'll see no end to the misery and suffering. Madam? Are you alright? What now? You mean to threaten a defenseless citizen? What? Saw her buy that meat, you say? That's absurd. Aye, as did I. Leave the poor woman alone, you damnable vulture. Who said that? I'll overlook this, but just this once. God's bless ye, adventurer. If you hadn't come along when you did, who knows what that monster might have done. I don't bear thinking about. It don't bear thinking about. Oh yeah, they but he's kind of a coward, so yeah. Yes, whatever. Excuse me. Case closed. Hello again. We've been keeping a close eye on you ever since you left Gridania. You discharged your duty as envoy impeccably and never once faltered to face the myriad of dangers. But more importantly, you were always ready to help those in need, even if you didn't stand to earn a gil by doing so. Yes, they're wonderful. You are possessed of all the qualities we seek in an adventurer. Of this we are convinced. Even if you were kind of dragged into this business with the dodo meat. Yes, thank you, Ida. And then there's the matter of your gift. I dare say you are curious as to the nature of the vision you bore witness to moments ago. Well, we can help you to understand it. You're not the only one with that power, you know. We have a friend who has it too, and we'd love for you to meet her. I'd survive a shiving probably because of that. And meeting her is only the beginning, for we would also have lend your strength to our cause. In return, we should be glad to assist your adventuring endeavors in whatever way we are able. Should you decide to take us up on our offer, and I sincerely hope you will, pray speak with Momodi. The proprietress of the Quicksand is a good friend of ours. She will tell you where to find us. Wait a minute. We haven't even told you the name of our order. We're the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, defenders of justice. Oh, but don't tell anyone. Except for Momodi. She knows already. Okie dokie. Scenes like that are becoming ever more common, I'm afraid. Don't worry, though. If you work hard, you'll probably be alright. Saying that, if you ever find yourself in a spot of bother, come and see me. Just don't go pestering me every time you graze your knee, eh? Of course, I do enjoy hearing tell of gentlemen's woes with the women folk from time to time. Oh, you scuttlebutt. Ah, Scarlet. Sorry to... Oh my god, I can't read anymore. Sorry to keep you waiting. I was just providing guidance to a fresh-off-the-carriage adventurer. But gods, it's good to see you safe and well. To look at you, no one would ever guess you'd been hard at it with the giants in the dark. You're every Ilmni adventurer Mion said you'd be, Scarlet. The station master will be overjoyed when he hears the news. Oh, before I forget, there's a lass here who wants a word with you. Didn't actually know your name, but hearing her description, I know who she meant right away. Thank you for sparing the time. I realize you don't know me, but I've been longing to speak with you for a while now. My name is Edda. I'm an adventurer like you. though I'm not very good at being one, if truth be told. Anyway, I was adventuring with my friends in Gridania when... I'm sorry. We were in Gridania when the leader of our party was killed. His name was Avir, and he and I were to be wed in the spring. You may not remember him, but to say that he remembered you would be an understatement. He would sing your praises from dawn to dusk. He saw you for what you are, you see, an adventurer's adventurer. He swore that he would be like you one day. I believed that he would have succeeded, had it been not robbed him of the chance. Since that day, I have thought long and hard about giving up adventuring. But when I think of the woman you are and all that you have achieved, I find that I'm inspired, just as Avir once was. And so I've decided to start again as an adventurer. I will go back to the village of my birth and begin my training anew. But I wanted to meet you first, to ask your name. Scarlet Thorn. I shan't forget. Thank you, Scarlet Thorn. I pray that we will meet again. Fare you well. Adventuring can be a cruel, bleeding business. Time was, I didn't know why anyone would bother. When they first asked me to take charge of the guild here, I didn't want aught to do with you lot, though it'd be a right pain in the arse looking after y'all. Thought it'd be a right pain in the arse looking after y'all. But against my better judgment, I decided to accept the post, and I'm full glad I did. I feel privileged to be a part of your lives. And that goes double for yours, Scarlet. Huh? What did you say? You want to know about the Scions of the Seventh Dawn? You're beginning to move in earnest, then. Listen, Scarlet, the Scions ain't no ordinary folk, and the work that they do ain't no ordinary work. I know full well how capable you are, but even you would think twice about attempting some of the stuff they do. Knowing that, if you're still certain you want to get involved, I'll tell you what I can. Let's see, what is this? I was 14, I was 16, and largely the same stats. I guess we'll take this. Alright. Stop being lagged out. There we go. Momodi is ready to tell you what she knows about the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. So you want to know more then, do you? Well, ain't that a surprise. I swear, if I painted certain death on one door and limitless wealth on the other, 9 out of 10 adventurers would go through the first, and the other bloke wouldn't be able to choose on account of being old on. Well, anyway, don't say I didn't warn you. First of all, if you're wondering whether you can trust these Scions of the Seventh Dawn, you can. They're good people who have made it their mission to solve some of Eorzea's more pressing problems. Of course, that ain't no small task, and so they're always looking for dependable individuals to join them. Individuals like you, Scarlet. Now, I've been given leave to tell you where to find the Scions, but you must promise to keep this information to yourself. As you can probably imagine, it's something Eorzea's enemies would very much like to know. Scions are headquartered in Vesper Bay, out in western Thanalan. The place where you're looking for is called the Wakened Sands. Give your name to whoever's at the entrance, and you'll be let in. You're a woman in demand, Scarlet, and the days ahead promise to be busy, but I hope you won't forget about them as they help make you into the adventurer you are. Drop in and tell them how you're faring from time to time here. Right, well, I've said my piece. Off you go. So now we're going to travel back to the place that I thankfully picked up both the crystal and the chocobo porter. Time to get back on a chocobo. Back to Horizon we go. A lot of the humor and wit in this game just cracks me. It's just a riot. You know, I discovered there's like a cutout mode for this camera, but it's like real slow. So if I move like this, it like trails me. I love that little hat so much. I want the outfit that the chocobo porters wear too. It's adorable. What? What did I say? I already forgot. Alright. Chiakubaka. Oh, there's like a cutout version, like, you know how if you could use a green screen. But, it's kind of weird. Doesn't work that good. Also, if I remove the chat from the side here, I can actually position the camera in whatever corner I want. I think maybe we can make it bigger, but then I can't see what anybody says. So if we get a better setup, maybe stuff for like, it might be better for the spook down if we could do that. But we'd have to figure out a way to keep chat up in front of us so we could talk. I have to do some messing around with it. It'll be best once we can get a card and then we can do an overlay. Because we can still, even with an overlay, have the chat open stuff if we want. Let's back up. 4, 3, 2, 1. That's one of my favorite pieces. I love the guitar. This person right here gives you the quest to unlock dyeing your clothing. I'm just not going to do it right now. Okay, let's talk to Tataru. Fun fact, Taru-Tarus are the race of this in 11. The Lollapels are Taru-Tarus in that game. Deep in the desert of my heart, a lonely flower blooms, yearning for the heavens above to quench my thirst for you. Trololololololol. Ah! I would think you not to sneak up on me like that. Now, please be advised that this is private property. Unless you have pertinent business here, I must ask you to... Here at the behest of Ida and Papa Limo. My sincerest apologies. May I please have your name? Scarlet Thorn, Scarlet Thorn. Ah, here you are. I bid you welcome to the Waking Sands, headquarters of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. My name is Tataru, and I look forward to assisting you during your time with us. The antecedent is within the Solar. I shall tell her, or I shall let her know to expect you. By the way, Tataru is one of my favorite things ever. Yes, but we're on a mission, hoax. We can pick it up another day. Alright. I take it you're Scarlet Thorn. Tataru sent word that you had arrived. Lady Minfilia has eagerly awaited your coming. This way, if you please. Level 1? Yeah. I got better stuff in that dungeon. Give me this one. Yes, she is the ultimate lady, bro. I love her so much.
So you're the adventurer of whom I've heard so much. Well met, friend. My name is Minfilia, and I lead the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. I have awaited your coming.
Thank God she talks for herself.
Please, be at ease. You are among friends here. No doubt you are ripe to burst with questions. But have patience. All will be revealed in time. First, let me begin by telling you who we are and what we do. We are the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, an order that transcends political boundaries. Our single objective is the preservation of the future of Eorzea. Among our gravest concerns are the godlike beings known as the Primals. Their existence is a bane upon Eorzea, nay, the world at large. and we have striven to find a lasting solution to the threat they pose. Our order is home to a number of individuals who, like you, possess a rare and special talent. This talent takes various forms, but one holds particular interest for us. Tell me, have you ever experienced a sudden, inexplicable loss of consciousness?
Yeah, it's called passing out. I'm sorry.
Have you ever had the sensation of being pulled away from reality? Felt as though you were hovering in space, a mind without a body? All these things are the manifestations of your talent. Yours is the power to transcend the boundaries of the soul, a power known as the Echo. The Echo allows you to pass through the walls of a man's soul and hear the resonations of his past. You will be there in his memories and see things as he saw them. You may even interact with that which you see, though you cannot change the outcome of events. For another blessing, the Echo will enable you to know a man's mind even if you cannot comprehend his words. In short, the Echo is a truly extraordinary power, and this power is strong within you. It is only a shame that we cannot use it whensoever we choose. That's right. I too possess the Echo. With that established, let us return to the subject of the primals. So long as they exist, the realm cannot take so much as a single step towards true peace. Measures must be taken. Measures which transcend boundaries, be they of faction, race, language, or creed. And to do so, the Scions require the aid of those with our talent. Make no mistake, the Echo will be instrumental in dealing with the primal threat. Without it, we cannot hope to save the realm. I know not what it is you desire for yourself, nor what it was that first brought you to Eorzea. But I firmly believe that the power we possess was given to us for a purpose. Why else would the gods entrust man with a gift so extraordinary, if not to have him use it? And so I implore you, lend us your power.
Ugh. Naturally, your aid will not go unrewarded. We are fortunate to have a number of influential allies, and, at a word from me, they will gladly afford you certain privileges that might otherwise be denied you. The right to employ retainers, for example. Are you familiar with them? They are individuals who may be relied upon to manage your assets and belongings on your behalf. The papers you requested, my lady. Triple Triad's awesome. Thank you, Tataro. Pleasure is mine, my lady. By way of a welcoming gift, I have taken the liberty of adding your name to the retainer's registry. As now, you are entitled to employ the services of a retainer. You will need to consult the retainer vocate regarding the particulars of this arrangement, but believe me when I say that the retainer will prove invaluable to you in your adventuring endeavors. Let this gesture serve as evidence of our commitment to do all in our power to facilitate your personal objectives. In return, we ask that you aid us to the fullest extent of your talents. Is that all? A mutually beneficial relationship, I am sure you will agree, and one which serves the greater good besides. Well, that was a veritable lecture, was it not? Forgive me, but it is important that all concerned are aware of what is expected of them. Now you know your purpose and what we can offer you. I invite you to consider joining us. When you have come to a decision, you may tell me without fear of censure. In good faith, I shall entrust you with our order's password, which our members use to reach one another in a field. It is Wild Rose. Pray keep it safe. Okay. We Scions have but one objective, to safeguard the future of Eorzea. Among our greatest concerns are the godlike beings known as the Primals. Long have we striven to find a lasting solution to the threat they pose. I know not what it is you desire for yourself, nor what it was that first brought you to Eorzea, but I firmly believe that the power we possess was given to us for a purpose. Pray consider this when you give me your answer, Scarlet. I will go wither the wild rose blooms. Minfilia is waiting to hear whether or not you will pledge your support. Oh, okay.
I take it you will help us. Wonderful! I knew you wouldn't let us down. But come, I would introduce you to your friends in the Order. Tell me, does the name Sharlayan ring any bells? It used to be one of Eorzea's 6 city-states, and was situated in the northwest of Aldenard. The Sharlayans were the keepers of wisdom both old and new. Their mastery over magic and ether was unsurpassed, and even the Garleans knew to fear them. Among their number, there were a noble few who devoted their lives to safeguarding the future of Eorzea. When the realm began its descent into chaos, and their countrymen fled for the motherland, they alone chose to remain here. These noble men and women were called the Archons. Those same brave souls stand before you now. The masked woman is Ida, and beside her is Popolimo. The two are charged with surveying the Twelveswood.
Hello there.
Welcome. I had every confidence that you would agree to help us.
Me too. Okay, my turn to introduce someone. That there is Thancred.
He is our man here in Ul'dah, Jewel of the Desert.
Welcome to the team. If I may, the lovely maiden beside me is named Y'shtola. Limsa Lominsa has the pleasure of being under her care.
Greetings. Last but not least is Urianger, who presides over all affairs within these halls. Pray seek him out whenever you have questions.
Dawn may banish even the darkest night. The words of a dear friend. I am glad of our meeting.
At the Battle of Carteneau, our leader was taken from us. But we did not stray from our purpose. We sought out Minfilia and others with her talent, and together established the Scions of the 7th Dawn.
Along with the Archons, those blessed with the Echo play a pivotal role in our endeavor to forge a brighter tomorrow for the realm. Oh, I should also introduce you to Tataru, our clerk.
Tataru.
She ensures that everything runs smoothly.
Pleased to make your acquaintance.
In time, I hope you will come to think of us as family. But without further ado, I would assign you your first task. Urianger, have the documents arrived from the students of Baldessian?
Aye, my lady. They arrived but recently.
We have received a request for aid from the Immortal Flames. Thancred, would you do the honors?
It would be my pleasure. Some days ago, a crystal caravan registered to Amagina and Sons mineral concern was waylaid and divested of its cargo. But there is more. Within a bell of the robbery, several people were reported missing from the shantytown outside the city.
At a glance, one would assume the involvement of bandits, kidnappers, and coincidence. Such crimes are hardly uncommon, and the Immortal Flames deal with their like almost every day. However, this time we have reason to believe that a primal is involved.
Aye. The evidence left behind implicates the Emolja, who are known worshippers of Ifrit. If we then consider the objects that were taken, there is no room left for doubt. The crimes were committed in the name of a primal.
That you may better understand the nature of our struggle with the primals, I would have you play the leading role in this investigation. You have my thanks. If there is aught you wish to know, I recommend you speak with Thancred. He is well versed in the affairs of Ulda.
Ever at your service, fair lady.
Ready to begin, are we? That's the spirit. So then, your mission is to investigate a crystal robbery at a spate of abductions. Crimes which we believe to be connected. Assuming we are correct, it is like that any of the discoveries we make will be in relation to one will further our understanding of the other. Now, since the attack on the caravan, our friends at the Amagina and Sons mineral concern have doubled security over all the shipments. In light of this, it is my judgment that the abductions should be our priority. According to our preliminary findings, the majority of the missing were last seen in the vicinity of Camp Drybone, so that would seem a fine place to begin. A fellow by the name of Isambard serves as the camp's de facto leader. Pay him a visit and see that he gives you full cooperation. Or you give him full cooperation. I don't know. Reading is hard when you're really tired. Ow! I ripped my headphone out. That hurt. Oh, we have to do so much walking to get there. That sucks. This will only take me to the city, but... It takes me to Ulda. Central. Yeah. So let's go to Ulda and start there because that'll be slightly better. Since we still have to walk a ways. How y'all doing? Is it like 90 in your rooms? Because it's like 90 in mine. I'm overjoyed. That guy's gonna die. At least the full house AC kicked on. Maybe that'll help some. Probably once we get our way to Camp Drybone and register the location, I'm probably going to come back to the city and put myself in an inn and stop it for the night, and then we'll come back and finish the story. But that way I can just port straight to the place and continue on next time. And then when we come back next week, we will shortly after we start get to do the trial, and then shortly thereafter we will be getting our chocobo. So that's exciting stuff. And then at level 30, we'll be able to become a white mage instead of just a conjurer. And then, like I say, I probably will put up a vote and see if people want me to continue to 50. Or if people want me to swap to Marauder for a while, level that up to like 30. Because as I said, the grind from 50 to 60 and then 60 to 70 is actually fairly long. So it won't take us a ridiculous amount of time to hit 50 on one character, but hitting 70 will. So if you want to see other jobs on here, we're gonna have to swap it like 30 or 50 or something, or else it'll be like a year. Yay. Oh, dang it. 6 seconds. Oh my god. Cooldown takes forever on that. I mean, it could be worse. There's like, in Guild Wars 2, for example, there are no mounts until they just announced the new expansion today, and there will be mounts. But they're only going to work in like the high level zones, and there's specific reasons for it. Otherwise, you run around on foot the whole game. All the time. Doesn't seem that bad in that game, though. I think it just seems bad in games where you know that there's an option to go faster at some point, and you're like always in a rush to get there. You won't take me where I want to go, will you? No. Dog is just full of borks today. Good idea. Good idea. Lest they run out of copies to exchange. Boy, the music got real ominous. Kinda dig it though. Damn assing frog. Indeed. I don't really know what her problem is today. I think one of the times I set her off because I set something down or did something and it freaked her out, but I don't know what she's barking at now. Okay, almost there. Now we do get more rested experience for going to an inn, but I think if you log out underneath one of these big aether crystals, you also get rested experience. It's just not as much. So I may actually just park her directly under the crystal for the sake of saving time and gil and such later. Yeah, feels good. So let's go turn this in. Ooh, okay. Hi, Miss Vard. Here to search for the missing folk, I take it? Minfilia sent word that an adventurer fitting your description would be along. She also warned us to be wary of the Amal Jah, as it seems we know who the culprits are at the very least. Now, I bear no official title at this camp, but the people here have come to look to me for leadership. You have my word that I'll do all I can to help see the victim safely returned. ensue. Item comparison. I thought we were still sporting a level 1. Professions are actually really cool in this game. So we'll pick this up. Let's get right to it then. Minfilia names the Amalja culprits in all this. You would do well to investigate them first. Much harm has been levied on these lands by the Amalja hands. The flames burn where they might, but their light cannot stay the darkness in all places at all times. There have been brutal murders of callers at the Church of the Saint Adama Lundama, innocents wishing no more than to pay respects to the dead. Poor souls deserve a proper burial. I would see to the deed before mongrels catch their scent, but I know not if the Amalja still linger. When you secure their remains for me, friend, you'll find them on the Eastern Road. 12 willing, you may even come to learn something of what the Amalja seek in this area. Okay, so we will continue with that when we come back. We'll log out under this crystal. So here's where we'll be ending for the week on Scarlet Thorn. We will be back on Thursday with Neo, which is either going to be me bashing my face against the 3 boss gauntlets or me smashing my face against New Game Plus, Mark of the Strong. I don't really know at this point what we're going to do, but we're going to do it anyway. And then next Tuesday we'll be back with Scarlet Thorn here in Final Fantasy XIV. There may at some point or another in the next week be an impromptu extra stream of Patapon if I get a hold of that, because I desperately would like to stream that. I'd like to shout a quick reminder out to any of those who have given me any bits, cheered for me at all, or people who have subscribed. Thank you. I don't have notifications. I don't see them pop up. I hope to change it at some point, but I do see it later, and I do appreciate it. So thank you all for the support, whether you do that or you're just here and hang out with me for the full time. I appreciate all of you so much, and I love that you come to hang out with me all the time. And so with that, I'll leave this here with my barking dog, and I hope you have a wonderful Wednesday. Thanks a lot, crew. Have a good night.